In this video, I'm going to be going over how to calculate the salary, the yearly salary of a part-time job in retail, how to calculate the taxes owed by a person working this job, and the whole purpose of calculating these two quantities is to find out what the net income of a person working this job would be. Now, the net income is the amount of money that a person would make after paying taxes. So, I did some research online. It's very easy to find the average hourly rate for almost any type of job in California. You can go ahead and Google that. I have found that I picked Staples as an example, Staples office supply store, and their hourly rate for a cashier, which is a starting level position, a position that you as high school students would be able to have, it is $9.25 per hour. Now the minimum wage is $9, so this is slightly over $9.25. Also keep in mind that this rate could increase. They do have a system where the longer you work there, you have opportunities for raises and promotions and things like that. So this might not always stay the same, but for now we'll just take it as it is. Okay, so if this is our hourly rate, let's go ahead and create an equation that's going to calculate how much money a person would make in a week. So I'm going to name the equation W for the weekly rate, and it's going to be 9.25 per every hour. So you would be multiplying, and I'm going to go ahead and name my variable H because that is the number of hours. So you're making $9.25 every single hour. So this is the weekly rate. Okay, so now that we have our weekly rate, we can go ahead and create another equation to calculate the yearly rate. Okay, so our yearly rate is going to be an equation. I'm going to name it Y for yearly. And it depends on how much you make every week. There are 52 weeks in a year, and I'm going to multiply that by how much I make in a week, which we named as W. Remember that W stands for weekly rate, so 52 weeks times the weekly rate. So we can use these two equations now to actually find the rate, the yearly salary. Now, one more piece of information that we need to know is how many hours a week a person is working. Now, since you're a student and you will be continuing to be full-time students in college, it is not reasonable to assume that you would have full-time jobs. You, as high school students, can't have part-time jobs to begin with. So we're going to assume that you work part-time, so 20 hours a week. Okay, so we're working 20 hours a week. So if we're working 24 hours a week, then our weekly salary, we would use our equation to help solve the problem. So our weekly rate $9.25 per hour. Now there are 20 hours, so that's what we're going to substitute into our equation. Okay. That gives us $185 per week. Okay, so we have a weekly salary. So how is that going to tell us what the yearly salary is? Okay, so now we're going to use our yearly rate equation. Y equals 52. Now W is our weekly rate. Okay, now we have calculated the weekly salary, so that is 185. Okay. And that gives us a yearly salary of $9,620. So this is what our salary is. Remember that we haven't paid taxes yet, and as working citizens, one of our duties is to pay taxes. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit, talk about taxes. Now taxes, they're a little more complicated. There are a lot of factors working in taxes. It depends on a lot of different circumstances. But just to simplify this for the purposes of this project, okay, I'm going to go ahead and describe the tax brackets and how they calculate or estimate the taxes that you would be paying. So if you make up to $9,225 a year, then you are in the 10% tax bracket, meaning that you would pay 10% in taxes. However, if you make anywhere from $9,225 to $37,450 per year, then that means that you are in the 15% bracket, which means that you would be paying 15% in taxes. Now, it's not as simple as that seems. The way that they break this up is that the first $9,225 that you make, you'll be paying 10% of that in taxes. Okay, so if you are only making less than $9,225, then this would be the equation that you would use to find out how much money in taxes you'll be making. Now, we saw that our salary is slightly above that, which puts us in the 15% tax bracket, which means that the leftover money that I made is now going to be taxed by 15%. So I'm still getting taxed 10% on the first $9,225. The remainder is going to be taxed 15%. Okay, so I'm actually adding here. Okay. Now here I'm going to find out what my remainder is. So I have my original amount minus 9 minus the limit here. And that remainder is what I'm going to be taxing by 15%. So this would be the equation for taxes. This is to find out how much money in taxes I will be paying. Okay, now remember that I can't multiply whole numbers by percentages. I have to change these two into decimals. So you move the decimal point over 2 spaces to the left. So this equation becomes I'm going to go ahead and subtract these two. Okay, I get 395, which is going to be taxed at 15%. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and work this out on my calculator. 9225 times 0.10 is 922.5 plus 395 times 15%, which is 59.25. And the sum total is $981.75. So this is how much I have to pay in taxes for the entire year. This was how much I made, and using my tax equations here, I'm going to pay $981. You can use this same formula for your own taxes. It is highly unlikely that as a part-time employee, you'll be making more than $37,000 a year. So we're going to keep it at these two brackets. Okay. Now finally, to find out what my net income is, remember that net income is the amount of money that you make after paying taxes. You would just subtract. I'm going to subtract the amount I'm paying in taxes from my salary. That will give me my net income of $8,638.25. Now this is what I will be able to spend in a year. This is my net income after taking care of taxes. Now again, taxes are a little bit more complicated than that. You could get tax credit for being a student, for many other different reasons. So you could potentially end up having more money. Really, we're just keeping it simple in this for the purposes of what we're doing this week, and this is what you would have.